Whoo-wee. Wednesday morning. Sunny. Looks like a beautiful day coming up. Hope so. But I just watching Fox News. I know some of you don't like Fox News. You know, remember Obama saying Fox News comes up with this stuff, and there's not a big problem is that you got these news medias that don't. You know, he's always got a line. Obama's always got a line. I mean, lying line. But anyway, Fox News has been saying for what, 8 years? 8 years. There was a lot of garbage went on in the Obama campaign or Obama administration, all that. And well, now we know they are. For a fact, Fox News was right. And CNN, MSNBC, NBC, CBS, ABC, New York Times, Washington Post, they all jumped on the bandwagon with the lying liberal drawn courage type thingy, and now we know a lot of poop went on. I was thinking, I was in there fixing me a bacon-lettuce tomato sandwich there a while ago, the wife and I eating breakfast, and I was just thinking, you know, Bill Clinton, when he had his little Lewinsky deal went on with him, and I never had relationships with that woman. He was up on a moral issue. And basically, immoral America just kissed his butt. Do you realize that actually Bill Clinton, he started you down a path of godless immorality? You accepted his trash. That Bill Clinton, was the seed of immorality. Through him, that seed was planted in the Democratic Party. Through him, that seed was planted. Now look at it. The Democratic Party is a boiling sewer. A boiling sewer. Whew. Gays, transgenders, lies that are running out their ears. I mean, man, it's a boiling sewer. It's unreal what those people are doing. And yeah, it's weird because you've got millions of people out there. The Democratic Party got their lips on their butt, and those people got their lips on the Democratic Party's butt, and then the Democratic Party they'll stand there with the cheeks of their butt spread, and I'm getting ready to sidestep to the left. Stay with me now. And people follow them anywhere they go. They'll follow them. I don't know why. They tell them, well, maybe we'll give you a free college education. How's that? Stay with me. It's unreal, people. It's unreal. A boiling sewer. I've told you, and I know there's been others tell you. Maybe they don't tell you in the same exact words, but see, I've seen the video where one of them said, Van Jones, CNN, years ago, Glenn Beck showed the video. Van Jones had speaking in front of a crowd. He said, we will either win or be crushed. Not win or lose, not win or get beat, but be crushed. What was he talking about? What was he talking about? It's a good question. See, right now, the Democratic Party don't have a choice. They went through George Washington Bush. He never pushed it. He never pushed deeper into it to find out what was going on. They went into Obama. But see, Obama was the face. He was the face of deception. That's basically what he is. He's just the face of deception. He chose to be that. He didn't have to take that role in his life, but he chose to be that. He chose to be the face of deception. And that's exactly what he done. That is exactly what he done. He lied to the American people to get in office. He lied all the way through office. And he's still lying. He's still got his garbage going. Anti-God, anti-moral, anti-America, anti-freedom, anti-justice. He's a mess, people. I've said it, and I'm not ashamed of saying it. I'll say it again. Barack Hussein Obama is a lying, scheming, cheating, half-breed communist Muslim that acts like a nigger. Don't give me a racist card or racist garbage. Hey, you ask a black community what they call a nigger, they say a black person that can't be trusted is a nigger. Barack Obama is a nigger, a big nigger. Sorry, that's your bubble. I mean, you set yourself up for it. You people, you've sucked up on these friggin' perverts. Sorry. But can't be trusted. But see, the Democratic Party found out that through Bill Clinton they could lie to the American people without recompense, without getting in trouble, without consequences, and they jumped on it, hook, line, and sinker. When Barack Obama got in office, they jumped behind him. It is unreal. And now what's really pissed the Democratic Party off is a simple fact that they have a man sitting in the White House that they can't find dirt on. They're throwing. You ever seen anybody? I've never snare fished, but I know what a snare hook is. A snare hook is a type of hook that has, instead of having like a one fish hook, it has like three fish hooks sticking out different angles. And there's two like this, and there's another one sticks out over here. And people, sometimes they'll fish with them. They'll throw those snare hooks out in the water, and they'll give them a jerk. You know, they'll jerk that old snare hook through the water that maybe they might catch a fish in the face, in the tail, in a fin, on the belly, on the back, and they try. It's illegal in West Virginia. Okay, it's illegal to do that. You can fish with lures that have tri-shaped hooks, but they're illegal because they're a bait. But a snare hook is just a, you know, it's harsh. It's harsh. But anyway, that's what the Democrat Party's doing. They're jerking snare hooks through the water. Just anything they can do to find anything at all on President Trump. Anything at all. Hey, listen, they're going nuts. Watch them. They're up there right now hollering. As a matter of fact, they're supposed to have a meeting right now, Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic heads. They're supposed to have a meeting right now talking about impeaching Trump. They don't have a grounds. They don't have anything. All they have is their want. All they have is that lying little scheming want. I want him out. They have no grounds. They have nothing. They have nothing. They've tried everything in the world. Listen, the Democratic Party started a lie. The dossier. They started a lie. The Clintons and the Democratic Party paid $9 million to get a British spy to put them a lie together. $9 million. He put them a lie together. He told them when he put it together. And he sold it to them. Some of this can't be proven. Let's step back. Gruber, the feller that architect Obamacare, come right out in the open, man, after Obamacare was passed, the Affordable Care Act. It was all a lie. It was a deception to get people to back it. And God. And you people still got your tongue up their butts. They jerked your chain every way friggin' possible, and you still got your tongue up their butts. They don't look at me like that. I wasn't the one that done it. But that's just the type of people. I told you. I told you. Barack Obama chose to be the face of deception. He chose to be that, people. He didn't have to. He chose it. But see, Bill Clinton seeded it. He told the American people a lie, and he got by with it. The Democratic Party, through Obama, said we can get by with what we want. Where did we hear that in the past, in the history? Where did we hear that type of thing? That avenue of thinking. Where did we hear that? Oh, it was an old drunken socialist from back in the 1800s, born in the 1800s, lived up in the 1900s. His name was Karl Marx. Karlmarx. An old drunken socialist. What was he known for? Well, he was known for basically for the statement that said, if we can destroy the morals of one generation of Americans, we can take the country. That's what he said. Or nation. One of you. But anyway, what was he saying? If we can piss into their minds enough, we can own them. Did you know Barack Hussein Obama was a Marxist? That he studied Marxism in college? Did you know that? Did you know that during the Nixon Watergate thingy, when everything in the world was up against Nixon for what was it, 11 minutes or 13 minutes of Watergate tape recording, it was stolen, and I reckon from what I guess, they said Nixon was behind it. That there was a man on the Democratic Party, Nixon was a Republican, man on the Democratic Party, name was, I think it was Saul Alinsky. Well, see, Hillary Clinton worked under Saul Alinsky. Now, this is back, quite a few years ago. Well, Saul Alinsky, he was a Marxist. Yeah. If we can piss into their minds enough, we can own them. Hillary Clinton worked under Saul Alinsky. Hillary Clinton has made the statement, Saul Alinsky was her mentor. Saul Alinsky was what taught me. He taught me to be what I am today. Saul Alinsky was her mentor. Hillary Clinton's a Marxist. If we can piss into their minds enough, we can own them. Okay? This should start clearing up some stuff for you. I'm honest, it should. We had 4 people die in Benghazi. We've had soldiers that said they were close enough to intervene and save those people. But they were ordered to stand down. Now listen to me. They were ordered to stand down. There's only one person who can give that order, legally give that order, and it has to come from the White House, from my understanding. Okay? But see, they say, I've heard, and it went around for a while, that Obama was out of contact for 6 hours during that night of that attack in Benghazi. True or not, I don't know. But I know some of the senators and representatives were talking about it during that time. Obama was out of contact. Word has said he was stoned. We know from his past he's a druggie. He's a homosexual. I've seen the testimony. I could bring it up and show it to you on Facebook. This woman talks about knowing Obama when he was in college. Said he was a bum. He was a homosexual bum. He would bum a cigarette and then he'd flip you off like he was nothing. He was just one of them people. But that's what you had in office, people. That's what you had in office. He chose to be the face of deception. The Democratic Party crawled in behind him. There's a lot of garbage went on, but they want you to forget the garbage. Forget Benghazi took place. Forget Fast and Furious, where military grade weapons were handed over to drug cartels. Forget Solyndra, where Harry Reid's, I believe it was Harry Reid's son was worked for Solyndra, and how much was it? Way up there in the millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, or billions went to Solyndra, and then come to find out they went bankrupt, that they didn't survive, and just poof. Forget that. Forget Fusion GPS and the millions upon millions, if not billions of dollars that went of uranium went to Russia, a country that is being at odds with America. That, uranium, they make nuclear weapons with uranium. You realize that? All right, forget that. We don't want you to remember Fusion GPS and we don't want you to remember all that stuff. We want you to think about other stuff. Forget about Joe Biden's son going to China, riding with Biden on a U.S. Aircraft. Biden going down there and having a little meeting around in China when he's vice president, and Biden's son getting $1 billion and some dollar deal with China for his company on American dime. No connections, everything cool. Forget about that. Forget about the things that took place. I mean, people is scandal after scandal after scandal. But you listen to Biden, we didn't have a bit of scandal under Obama. Remember, Obama said it wasn't a smidgen of scandal. His whole friggin' administration was a scandal. Forget about it. Forget about the dossier. Let's think about Trump. Let's talk about Trump. Remember the part where I said, now I'm getting ready to sidestep to the left. Now stay with me. Okay? Forget about that stuff. Stay with me. Stay with me. Forget about the shame and the disgrace. Forget about the millions of dollars, the millions upon millions upon millions, and not billions of dollars that was spent over there, some bombing raids in on ISIS. And then before they leave, before the aircraft would leave or whatever, Obama would warn the ISIS or the Muslims over there, now we're going to bomb over here. Now I hope you're not there when we get there. Telling them we was sending bombers. All they had to do was just pick up their garbage and move somewhere else. Forget about all that stuff. Forget about the bad nuclear deal that took place with Iran. Iran knocking on nuclear weapons. I think they got them now, but see, they want to put them on big missiles now, so they can send them thousands upon thousands of miles. To America. Forget about that. Not only did they get that, but Obama get, what was it, $150 billion, or tried to, or something. We don't want you to remember that. We don't want you to remember that North Korea was knocking on nuclear weapons and ICBMs and stuff, and intercontinental ballistics. Okay, the big missiles and nuclear arms. North Korea says we can hit America. They want you to read that all this stuff took place under Obama. They were given room and ground. There's even a video out there where Obama's talking to a Russian diplomat, and it's after a news some kind of news meeting or conference or whatever. He's talking to this fella, and I seen the video. Obama reaches over and lays his hand on the man's arm and said, "I'll have more flexibility when I'm reelected." Forget about these little things that keep popping up that they don't want you to remember. Now pay attention. I'm on a sidestep to the left. Stay with me. If we can piss into their minds enough, we can own them. I know this is harsh, it's colorful, but you're not listening to anything else. You've got decent, honorable people trying to talk to you, and you would rather lick someone's smelly butt than to listen to somebody just to kind of speak words of decency into your ears. I'm sorry. You set yourself up for it. But they want you to forget about all this other stuff. I mean, I've just mentioned what 4 or 5 things that took place. People, there's a string of scandals that took place under Obama. Again, I'm still wondering why President Trump hasn't unlocked Obama's birth records. You know, Joe, the Sheriff Joe over out west there, said he had proof that Obama was not Native American, that he wasn't born here. He has proof of it, but for some reason it was hid. One woman that could have proven it, her name was Fuddy, I think she was. She's killed in an airplane wreck. She's in Hawaii, and she had the proof of it, and she was killed in an airplane crash. Well, let's forget about that. But Joe says he proven it. He got an analyst, a digital analyst or something, said that he's proven that he knows for a fact Obama's birth certificate was a computer forged. Wow. But let's don't think about that. Let's think about something else. Let's think about Donald Trump and his taxes that we ain't seen. We've seen other people's tax returns. We ain't seen Donald's. Well, let's think about Donald's business transactions for the last 6 years or 10 years. Let's think about that. Let's don't think about that other stuff. Let's think about that. Let's think about how we want Donald Trump out of office because he might be putting us in jail. Let's don't think about that. Let's think about something we can hit him with. It's pitiful. It's pitiful. Never in the history of this nation has a sitting president has to go through the hell that liars committed themselves to. Liars. Liars. Perverts. Isaiah 32, 5-8 tells you what the liberal will do, people. It tells you what the liberal will do. You need to read it. You need to read it. But some of you'd rather read Mein Kampf or some kind of garbage that Karl Marx spit out. Friggin' perverts. Hitler wasn't nothing but a friggin' murderous pervert. You'd rather read Mein Kampf as read him. Karl Marx wasn't nothing but a drunken pervert, but you'd rather read something from him than read something out of the Bible. You'd rather listen to Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton or one of them talk about rubbing your crotch, making you feel good, than to read something out of the Bible, something decent. It's pitiful. It is really pitiful. Wow, how's it feel to have your earlobe chewed on on a Wednesday morning, man? You know, I know some of you are just going to turn it off and you're not going to listen because, well, you've been sidestepped. They've had you sidestepped too many times. You bought into it. You bought into it. It's a shame, people. It is a literal shame and disgrace, but some of you will never see it because you've let your conscience go too long and it's been crusted too much. You'll never see it. The only thing that will make a difference is for the Spirit of God to break that crust and actually prick your heart, that you realize that you're at fault. I've had God tell me time and time again, John, man, you're at fault. And sometimes I still need it, and maybe even today, right now, I need it. Because God understands things that I don't. But something's got to give, people. We've got to get this message. This thing on the border. This thing on the border, they lied to you for years. They lied to you about the border. The Democratic Party lied to you. NBC, ABC, CBS, MSNBC, CNN, New York Times, Washington Post, West Virginia's talking that they just freaking lied to you. Just outright lied to your face. Stay with me now. I'm going to sidestep to the left. They just outright lied to you. And now they're coming out because they can't reject it. They can't reject it. It's coming out too much. They have to get on. They have to start following it. They don't have a choice. They're lies. Listen, those people that lied to you, CNN, MSNBC, all those people, they need to be lined up and shot. Do you realize that the lives of American soldiers and American police and American firefighters, American border wall agents, people that have died because that lie kept it covered up, kept it hid, and they let that garbage go on? Do you ever think about that? Does it ever bother you that when you see a report, or do you watch Fox or something decent, that they'll show it to you and talk about it? Another policeman dies. Do you ever watch it? Does it bother you? Does it mean anything to you that our police and our soldiers and our firefighters, or our border agents and stuff, does it mean anything to you that they're dying? Does it mean anything to you that their families are broken up? That when you see the families' faces and their lives are torn apart, does it mean anything to you? Does it bother you? Does it bother you, or did you ever think about the lies that were told and you got on board with them? That these people died because you listened to a lie? Does that mean anything to you? Does it bother you? Does it mean anything to you that the billions upon billions of dollars that are just being thrown up into the air right now, and yet America's put at risk because we can't stop the crossings at the border? Does it mean anything to you that they're bringing sickness? You know, I just seen on Fox a while ago, they closed an area. I see, where is it? I think it's in Texas. I forget the name of the place. The place was supposed to hold so many thousand people. But now it's up to something like 2 or 3 times that much, and that they now have the flu going on in them, and they're having to quarantine it. See, listen, I look at these people. Now listen to me. My wife and I was talking about this there while this was on. She was doing something on her internet, on her phone, and I was watching Fox, and they was talking about this facility. It's supposed to hold so many, but it's already way over that. And they had to quarantine the place because people were coming up with flu-like symptoms. Okay, but now I'm watching this, and I look at these people coming up through Mexico. They walk up through Mexico, and I look at these people, and I see nice clothes. I see nice clean jeans and shirts and tops and shoes, and I see all this stuff, and I'm wondering, I said, and I mentioned to the wife, I said, these people are not starving. These people are not in destitute circumstances. I said, these people are dressed good. Somehow they managed to get good clothes and stuff. I mean, I look at these people. Some of these people dressed better than I dress, people. And I'm an American citizen. They're dressed better than I do. And I look at them, I said, these people are not destitute. Why are they here? Well, yeah, they want a better life. Well, yeah, I could use a better life. I've been cheated out of some of my life. Cheated. But I look at these people and I said, these people are not destitute. But see, the problem is they're coming up here, and the majority of these people are going on welfare. They're going on American dime. They're not going to work. They'll come up here and they get free to check. They'll get a food card. They'll get medical. They'll get all this stuff on the American dime. A lot of these people are not going to work. These people are not destitute, people. They're not destitute. They come up here and they say, "Well, I'm running from war and this and that and whatever," and they're not. They're not running from war. They find out they lie through their friggin' teeth to try to get into America. The Democratic Party will not call their hand. The Democratic Party refuses to stop it. We are 19 or $20 trillion in debt, people. It's not as if America has money laying around to deal with this. We are living off borrowed money. Do you realize what that means? We are living off of borrowed money. You know, the Bible says the borrower is a servant unto the lender. It's not as if we got a bankroll waiting to be dipped into to help everybody in the world. We're living off of borrowed money. Do you realize how friggin' close you are to being bankrupt? Did you ever think about it? You ever realize how close you are to actually being bankrupt? Hey. At the turn of a hand. At the turn of a hand. And you want the world turned over to you. Well, I've got news for you. These socialists and those liberals, they're not going to turn the world over to you. They're not going to give you the world, Jack. Do you realize the Obamacare, when it was passed, Obamacare had death panels? Oh, they started that when they was trying to pass it. It was not. Yes, it was. Sarah Palin told them there was death panels in it. After they passed it, then they found out it was real. But old Barack, oh, we're not going to push Grandma off a cliff. We're not going to push her off a cliff. Do you realize that here just what, a few weeks ago, there was a group of scientists, or a few months ago, a group of scientists from where, I don't know where all they come from, but they had a meeting in America, on American soil, I think it was, and that group of scientists said 1/3 of the world's population need to die off. Well, we got over 6 billion people, and 1/3 is 2 billion people need to die in order to save the world. Do you realize what they're saying? Do you realize what they're saying? They're not going to hand you the world, people. You know who'll live if they get in? You know who'll live if America falters and the world moves into a one world socialist system? You know who'll live? The ones that don't mind having poop on their nose and their tongue. That's the ones that will live. The ones that don't mind the stench. the ones that don't mind the shame, the ones that don't mind the pain, the ones that his conscience is dead and it means nothing. They're the ones that'll survive. But according to the Bible, their survival will cost them everything. It will cost them everything. People, I'm just talking basic rubber meets the road. We're the tar squaw or squeal. Basic right and wrong. You better watch yourself. It's coming. You best get behind your president. It's what you best be doing. And you best vote the Democrats down. Vote them out of office. Get rid of the friggin' perverts, people. My goodness. They're lying to you. It's coming out. It's coming out. Little by little, it's coming out. They've already got grounds to press charges against some of these people. Look, watching people, they're turning on one another. Comey and Lynch, you know how they held hands during the Hillary email thingy? How they held hands, and Comey says, well, we've decided we don't need to press charges. It wasn't his call. It was Loretta Lynch's call. But why did he say it? And then Lynch said, well, we're going to go with the FBI's lead. And now they're turning on one another. Turning on one another. Why? They're in trouble. They don't have a choice. They're going to have to fight or be crushed. It's on the way. William Barr, they're trying to hook William Barr, claim this and that and whatever. They don't have a choice, people. They're in trouble. They don't have a choice. They're going to jail. Some need to die. They need to be shot for what they've done. They don't have a choice. They're fighting for their lives now. And you're licking their butts. You're giving them the acceptance, the legitimacy to their lies and their shame and their shame and stuff. You kissing their butts is giving them legitimacy. But I guess they rub your crotch enough. It's okay with you. Well, if your family realizes what you sold them out to, when your bloodline realizes what you sold them out to, they're going to curse you. How would you like for that little sweetheart 2 and 3 year old boy or girl that you think the world of get 20 years, 30 years down the road, 40 years down the road and say, damn you, Grandpa, look what you've done to me. Damn you, Grandma, look what you done to me. Look what you done to me. Now you think about it, Jack. Yeah, I'm telling you, people, I'm telling you, if this is not stopped, that day will come. That day will come. They'll look back in history and they'll see where people backed the lies of liberals and socialists, and they'll curse you. They'll curse you. Have a nice day.